मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अष्टतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्लोकाक्षर स्वामीजी महाराज की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट शल सच्चरंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानुगौरिया गुरु वार्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम श्री रस ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदाता गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय। सारार्थ-darśinī वृत्ति की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणेति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनेति नामिने। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तरभक्ताय नमो नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुस्तं सर्वभूत हृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदन्तस्तो ह्यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतं। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वां नायमां चरणान्तिकम्। भक्त्या विहीन अपराधलक्षाय क्षेताश्रमादितराङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Haribo, Madhavi Didi, and Rupmanjari Didi, Raseshwari Mataji, Gargarajji, Prajumna Prabhu, and Mantramurti Mataji. So today's going to be a short reading. Today's only, I think it's 12,000 something words. Usually we read 5,000 words. So because that's how long this full chapter is. And also I'm going to be going to Vashana and Nandagaon today. So as soon as I'm finished reading, then I'm leaving for that. But we got to the end of Ras Panchadhyay, and now we're continuing on with the rest of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So, okay, where are we? Yeah. Chapter 34, Nanda Mahārāja saved and Śaṅkhacūḍa slain. Oh, and I have to, Rupmanjari Didi and Nitai. Nitai is also listening. I keep on, forgot to mention. Okay. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ekada Devayatrayam Gopala Jatakotuka Anobir Anadud Yuktai Prayayustem Bikavanam. Shukadev Goswami said, one day the cowherd men, eager to take a trip to worship Lord Shiva, traveled by bullock carts to the Ambika forest. Commentary, Sārārtha-darśinī commentary by Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura. This chapter describes how Krishna delivered Nanda Mahārāja from being swallowed by a snake. Krishna also killed Śaṅkhacūḍa, the son of Kuvera, and took his crown jewel. After describing the Ras Lila in autumn, and before describing the holy Lila of spring, Shukadev describes the celebration of Shiva Ratri. On Falgun Krishna Chaturdashi, the Vrajavasis went to Ambikavan on the bank of the Saraswati River, northwest of Mathura. Ambikavan is notable for its deities of Lord Shiva and his wife, goddess Uma. Some authorities say that Ambikavan was located at Siddhapur in Gujarat. Tatra snatva saraswatyang devam pashupating vibhum anarchur arhanair bhaktya devem cha nripatem bikam. O king, after arriving there, they bathed in the Saraswati and then devotedly worshipped with various paraphernalia the powerful Lord Pashupati and his consort goddess Ambika. Gavo hiranyam vasangsi madhu madvannamadrita brahmanebhyo dadhu sarve devo na priyatam iti. The cowherd men gave the Brahmins gifts of cows, gold, clothing, and cooked grains mixed with honey. Then the cowherds prayed, "May the Lord be pleased with us." Commentary. Gava is used for the normal form of the feminine plural accusative case, ga, cows. Nanda and others gave cows, gold, honey prasad from Shiva's Abhishek, and cooked rice sprinkled with honey to the Brahmins. So interesting, rice with honey. Ushu sarasati tire jalam prashayata vrata rajanintang mahabhaga nanda sunandakadaya. Nanda, Sunanda, and the other greatly fortunate cowherds spent that night on the bank of the Saraswati, strictly observing their vows. They fasted, only taking only water. Commentary. Sunanda was Nanda's younger, so that's why it says Ka, Nandaka, Sunanda was Nanda's younger brother. After sipping water and observing vows, the Vrajavasis spent the night on the bank of the river. Kaścin mahan ahistasmin vipineti bubhukshitah yadrichaya gato nandang shayanang urugo grasit. During the night, a huge and extremely hungry snake appeared in that thicket. Slithering on its belly to the sleeping Nanda Mahārāja, the snake began swallowing him. Oh my God. Commentary. Mahan ahi means a boa constrictor. The word uruga, meaning moving on his belly, is an adjective expressing how the serpent was invisible. Sachukros shahinagrasta Krishna Krishna mahan ayam sarpo mangrasate tata prapannam parimochaya. In the clutches of the snake, Nanda Mahārāja cried out, Krishna, Krishna, my dear boy. This huge serpent is swallowing me. Please save me, who am surrendered to you. Commentary. He shouted. He shouted, Sa Chukrosha. That this implies that Nanda Mahārāja remembered the words of Garga Muni. Krishna would save the inhabitants of Vraj from all dangers. Tasya chakranditam shrutva gopala sahasotita grastang cha drishtva vibhranta sarpam vivyadyurul ulmukai. When the cowherd men heard the cries of that Nanda, they immediately rose up, that he was being swallowed. Distraught, they beat the serpent with blazing torches. Commentary. Hearing Nanda's cries, the cowherd men began beating the snake with blazing torches, ulmukai, made from logs. Alatar dahyamanopi namunchat tang arungama tam asprishat padabhyeta bhagavan satvatam pati. But even though the firebrands were burning him, the serpent would not release Nanda Mahārāja. Then the Supreme Lord Krishna, master of his devotees, came to the spot and touched the snake with his foot. Commentary. Though beaten by those torches, alattai, the snake did not let go of Nanda. Savai Bhagavata Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam hata shubha bheje sarpa vapur hitva rupam vidyadhararchitam. The snake had all his sinful reactions destroyed by the touch of the Supreme Lord's divine foot, and thus he gave up his serpent body and appeared in the form of a worshipful Vidyadhara. Commentary. The words Rupam Vidyadhararchitam indicate that the erstwhile snake appeared in a beautiful form worshipable among the demigods called Vidyadharas, because he was freed from offenses by the touch of Krishna's foot, and thus became the best of the Vidyadharas. I want to see a picture of this. This must have been done, right? Let me just check. Let me find, what is it? Nanda Mahārāja saved. That might work. Nanda Mahārāja saved by snake. There's a picture. Let's see. It's not a very high resolution photo, but this will work. Open image in new tab. And there's another one here. And that's another one. That one's even worse though. Okay. Here it is. Let's see this version. That's better. Okay. Let's move on. There's the... All right. Tam apracha drishikesha pranatam samavastitam dipyamanena vapusha purusham hemamalinam. The Supreme Lord Hrishikesh then questioned this personality who is standing before him with his head bowed, his brilliantly effulgent body bedecked with golden necklaces. Commentary. Krishna inquired from the Vidyadhara in order to instill fear of disrespecting Brahmins and all the pilgrims who had gathered there from various villages. Krishna is addressed as Hrishikesh, the controller of all the senses, to show that he wanted to focus everyone's exclusive attention on the words of the demigod. Ko bhavan paraya lakshmya rochater bhuta darshana katam jogupsitam etam katim va prapito vasha. Lord Krishna said, "My dear sir, you appear so wonderful, glowing with such great beauty. Who are you, and who forced you to assume this terrible body of a snake?" Commentary. Krishna asked, how did you get prapta? How did you get this condemned body? It suggests, who did this? Sarva uvacha ahang vidyadhara kaschit sudarshana iti shruta shriya sarupa sampatya vimanena charandisha rishin rupang kirasa prahasam rupa darpita tar imang prapito yonim pralabdhai svena papatma. Svena papmana. Sorry, I didn't read the meter right. The serpent replied, I am the well-known Vidyadhara named Sudarshana. I was very opulent and beautiful, and I used to wander freely in all directions on my airplane. Once I saw some homely sages of the lineage of Angira Muni. Proud of my beauty, I ridiculed them, and because of my sin, they made me assume this lowly form. Commentary. The serpent replied, oh, 1 second. Just want to make sure, okay. Hari Bol Kishori Mohan Prabhu, Sudevi Didi, and Ganga Mataji. So commentary. The serpent replied, I was well-known Shruta, everybody heard about me, a well-known Vidyadhara named Sudarshana. I used to go on pleasure excursions here and there, Disha Acharan, in my airplane, Vimanena. Overly conceited due to my beauty, Darpita Rupa, I laughed, prahasam, at some stages, and they cursed me to become a snake because of my sin, Swena Papmana. Shapomeno grahayaiva kritastai karunatmabhi yadahang loka guruna padasprishto hatashubha. It was actually for my benefit that those merciful sages cursed me, since now I have been touched by the foot of the Supreme Spiritual Master of all the worlds, and have thus been relieved of all inauspiciousness. Commentary. Sudarshan continued, because of this curse, I have been touched by your foot and attained the supreme benefit. Tang tvaham bhavabhitanam prapananam bhayapaham apriche shapanirmukta padasparshad amivahan. My Lord, you destroy all fear for those who, fearing this material world, take shelter of you. By the touch of your feet, I am now freed from the curse of the sages. O destroyer of distress, please let me return to my planet. Commentary. Sudarshana continued. O destroyer of all distress, Amivahan. The word apriche, I request, means that Sudarshan humbly begged for permission to go back to his own planet. Prapanosmi Mahayogin Mahapurusha Satpate Anujani Himang Deva Sarvalokeshvareshvara. Translation. O Master of mystic power, O great personality, O Lord of the devotees, I surrender to you. Please command me as you will, O Supreme God, Lord of all lords of the universe. Commentary. Sudarshan continued, O Mahayogi, O greatest of all possessors of mystic power. On one hand, I was a very envious serpent devouring your father. What has my position become now that I have regained proper discrimination and am praising you? How inconceivable is the mystic power of your yoga? Oh, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. O Lord of the saintly persons, Satpate Satam, headed by Nanda Mahārāja and other great persons, Mahapurush. This is a display of your immeasurable mercy that you delivered me from the snake body and protected your own devotees. Know me to be one of your followers. Just wait 1 second. I need to make a phone call. I'm just going to mute my mic for 1 second, and then. Okay. Okay, the phone was busy. I'm gonna have to stop for a second though when I get called back. Brahma dandar vimuktoham sadhyaste chuta darshanat yanama grahnan yanama grinana kilan shrutin atmanamevacha sadhya punati kim bhuyas tasya sprishta padahite. O infallible one, I was immediately freed from the Brahman's punishment simply by seeing you. Anyone who chants your name purifies all who hear his chanting, as well as himself. How much more beneficial, then, is the touch of your lotus feet? Sudarshan continued, just by seeing you, I became liberated from the snake body. What to speak of being touched by your lotus foot? If just by a single chanting of your holy name a person becomes purified, what should I attain having seen you and been touched by your lotus foot? Etyanugyapya dasharham parikramaya parikramya bhivandyacha sudarshano divam yata krichranandaschamochita. Thus, receiving the permission of Lord Krishna, the demigod Sudarshan circumambulated him, bowed down to offer him homage, and then returned to his heavenly planet. Nanda Mahārāja was thus delivered from peril. Nishamya Krishnasya taratma vaibhavam Vrajokaso vismita chetasastata Samapya tasmin niyamam punarrajan nripayayustat katayanta adrita. The inhabitants of Vraj were astonished to see the mighty power of Sri Krishna. Dear king, they then completed their worship of Lord Shiva and returned to Vraj. Along the way, they respectfully describing Krishna's powerful acts. Commentary. The inhabitants of Vraj were astonished at this and discussed among themselves. Can this boy, whom we fondle with affection, and who cannot be peaceful for a moment without us, be the Supreme Lord? If that is so, then all of us, mothers and fathers, are also great personalities. Thus, we are greatly fortunate, as Gargamuni first told us that Krishna is equal to Narayan. Indeed, we have heard this from the mouths of both Varuna and the Vidyadhara. Kadachit ata Govindaramas Charbuta Vikrama Vijar Haturvani Ratram Madhya Govraja Yoshitam. Once Lord Govinda and Lord Ram, the performers of wonderful feats, were playing in the forest at night with the young girls of Vraj. Commentary. After observing the vow of Shivaratri, Krishna, Balaram, and their friends met with the gopis on the night of Holika Purnima, also known as Gora Purnima, to celebrate Holi, according to Sri Vaishnava-darśinī. Upagiyamano lalitam stri janarbadda sohriday swalankritanuliptango sragvino virajom bharo. Krishna and Balaram wore flower garlands and spotless garments, and their limbs were beautifully decorated and anointed. The women sang their glories in a charming way, bound to them by affection. Nishamokama manayantav udito dupatarakam malika gandamatali jushtam kumudavayuna. The two lords praised the nightfall, signaled by the rising of the moon and the appearance of stars, a lotus-scented breeze and bees intoxicated by the fragrance of jasmine flowers. Commentary. They honored the beginning of night, Nisha Mukam, which was fragrant with lotus-scented breezes, served by the rising moon and stars, and by bees maidens from the fragrance of jasmine flowers. Jagatu sarvabhutanam manashravana mangalam tau kalpayanto yugapat swara mandalamurchitam. Krishna and Balaram sang, producing the entire range of musical sounds simultaneously. Their singing brought happiness to the ears and minds of all living beings. Commentary. Since they must be vibrated separately, it is impossible for other persons to produce all musical tones simultaneously. Nevertheless, Krishna and Balaram were exhibiting at one time a melody consisting of the entire range of musical notes, Swaramandala Murchitam, in such a way as to create auspiciousness for the mind and the ears. Gopyastargitamakarnya Murchita na vidam nripa Sarangsardukulamatmanam Srashta kesha srajam tata. The gopis became stunned when they heard that song. Forgetting themselves, O king, they did not notice that their fine garments were becoming loose and their hair and garlands disheveled. Commentary. The gopis who were dear to Krishna and Balaram fainted on hearing those melodies. Such was their state that their clothing slipped from their bodies and flowers fell from their hair. Evam vikridato swairam gayato sampramattavat Śaṅkhacūḍa iti kyato dhanadanu charo bhyagat. While Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram thus played according to their own sweet will and sang to the point of apparent intoxication, a servant of Kuvera named Śaṅkhacūḍa came upon the scene. That's funny. They sang to the point of intoxication. Tayor nirikshato rajangs tanatam pramada janam kroshantam kalayam asa deshu dicham asankita. O king, even as the two lords looked on, Śaṅkhacūḍa brazenly began driving the women off toward the north. The women, who had accepted Krishna and Balaram as their lords, began to cry out to them. Commentary. In front of Krishna and Balaram's eyes, Śaṅkhacūḍa drove away the gopis, who were shouting and crying, "O Ram, O Krishna, please protect us." The demon whirled a big stick before the beautiful young girls and drove them toward the north. But he did not actually touch the gopis, as is corroborated by the following verse. Kroshantam Krishna Rameti Vilokya Swaparigraham Yatha Gardasyunagrasta Bhattarav Anvadhavatam. Hearing their devotees crying out, "Krishna, Ram," and seeing that they were just like cows being stolen by a thief, Krishna and Balaram began to run after the demon. Commentary. As cowherds protect their cows from being taken by a thief, Krishna and Balaram pursued Śaṅkhacūḍa. Ma bhaishtetyabhayaravo shalahasto tarasvino ase datustam tarasa tvaritam guhyakadhamam. The lords called out in reply, "Do not fear." Then they picked up logs of the shala tree and quickly persuaded that lowest of guhyakas, who swiftly ran away. Saviksha tavanu prapto kalamrityu ivo dvijan visreja stri janam mudha pradravaj jivate chaya. When Śaṅkhacūḍa saw the two of them coming toward him like the personified forces of time and death, he was filled with anxiety. Confused, he abandoned the women and fled for his life. Commentary. Like time, the inspirer and death, the inspired, like time, the inspirer and death, the inspired, Balaram, the inspirer, said, "Kill him quickly." And Krishna, the inspired, said, "Yes, I will kill him." Tam anvadhavad govindo yatra yatra sadhavati jihirshush tachchiro ratnam tasto rakshan striyo bala. Lord Govinda chased the demon wherever he ran, eager to take his crest jewel. Meanwhile, Lord Balaram stayed with the women to protect them. Commentary. Balaram stayed with the gopis who were tired from running to comfort and protect them as they rested. Avidura ivabhyetya shirastasya duratmana jahara mushtinai sahachura manim vibhu. The mighty Lord overtook Śaṅkhacūḍa from a great distance, as if from nearby, my dear king, and then with his fist the Lord removed the wicked demon's head, together with his crest jewel. Commentary. Though the demon was very far away, in a moment Krishna caught up to Śaṅkhacūḍa and decapitated the demon with his fist. I love how violent Krishna's pastimes are. Śaṅkhacūḍam nihatyaivam manim adhaya bhasvaram agrajaya dadat pritya pashyati nam chayoshitam. Having thus killed the demon Śaṅkhacūḍa and taken away his shining jewel, Lord Krishna gave it to his elder brother with great satisfaction as the gopis watched. Commentary. To prevent rivalry among the gopis, who were thinking, "Krishna will give the jewel to me because I am the most favorite," Krishna happily gave the jewel to Balaram. However, later, Balaram gave the effulgent jewel to Radha, the most favored object of Krishna's affection. Thus ends the commentary on the 34th chapter of the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam for the pleasure of the devotees in accordance with the previous acharyas. Okay, so tomorrow we will read chapter 35. The gopis sing of Krishna as he wanders in the forest. We'll go through the Yugala Gita. All right. Let's find a picture of the killing of Śaṅkhacūḍa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Although it said that Śaṅkhacūḍa didn't touch the gopis. Anyhow. Oh, I have to take this call. Give me 1 second. And then I'll do Jayadvani. Jai Shishi Guru, whatever. Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishwar Ashtara Shata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Guru Dev Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishwar Shri Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishwar Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishwar Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nitil Vishnu Vishwar Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Gokshara Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Pada Dasaguna Shar Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gopal Shada Vrinda Ki Jai Namachai Shri Ras Thakur Ki Jai प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्तवृंद की जय क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय सर्व अभिष्ट विराट गिरिराज महाराज की जय राधा कुंज श्याम कुंज यमुना गंगा तुलसी भक्त देवी की जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशव Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranam everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe.